second grade, and welcome to math class today. So today I'm going to be teaching you Chapter 12, Lesson 2, which is called Sides and Angles. It begins on page 745. So before we jump into Lesson 2, let's do a real quick review of what you learned in Lesson 1, which was called two-dimensional shapes. So in Lesson 1, you learned all about two-dimensional shapes, which we can also call 2D shapes for short. So a 2D shape has length and width, but it does not have height. So here are two-dimensional shapes, a circle and a square. So they are flat. They do not have height. They have length, how long they are, and width, how wide they are, but they do not have height, which makes them two-dimensional shapes. All right, so a shape with length, width, and height would be a three-dimensional shape, which we will get to later in this chapter. So some of the shapes you learned in or you reviewed in Lesson 1 include a square, a circle, a hexagon, a rectangle, a triangle, and a trapezoid. So these are all two-dimensional shapes. Again, they have length, they have width, but they do not have height. So they are flat, 2D. All right, so in this lesson today, we're going to learn about sides and angles. So look at the Explore and Explain box. It looks like this. We have 3 different sections, and we have a place to write sides and angles. So our job, and you may not have all of these shapes at home, we would have them in the classroom, but you can draw them with me. We are going to sort these shapes based on the number of sides and angles that they have. So what are sides and angles? So let's take a look at a rectangle. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 4 sides. So what is an angle? An angle is this space where the sides meet. So this space is an angle where the sides meet. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. So a rectangle has 4 sides and 4 angles. All right, so let's go ahead and start to sort. So let's get all the shapes that have 4 sides and 4 angles like a rectangle. So we know a rectangle does. What about a hexagon? How many sides does a hexagon have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So it's different than a rectangle. How many angles does a hexagon have? Again, that's that space where the sides meet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides and 6 angles. So it's different than a rectangle. 6 sides and 6 angles for a hexagon. What about a square? Let's see. How many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many angles? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the same as a rectangle. Although they look different, the sides are different lengths, they have the same amount of sides, the same amount of angles. So why don't we go ahead, and I'm going to use this big box down here. I'm going to draw a square, and I'm going to draw a rectangle, and I'm going to write that they each have 4 sides and 4 angles. Just like this. 4 sides, 4 angles. Alrighty, let's look at another shape. What about a triangle? How many sides does a triangle have? 1, 2, 3. How many angles? So that's where our sides meet. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's different than a square and a rectangle. So I'm going to start a new section. For that, I'm going to write 3 sides and 3 angles. So I chose to put my triangle with 3 sides and 3 angles right up here. All right, let's look at another shape. A hexagon. Hexagon. How many sides does a hexagon have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A hexagon has 6 sides. And how many angles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides and 6 angles. So that's different than a square, different than a triangle. So I'm going to start a new box for my hexagon. All right, I'm going to do my best to make it nice and even. I'm drawing 6 sides and 6 angles. And I'm writing 6 sides, 6 angles. My hexagon doesn't look fantastic, but that is my hexagon. All right, and the last shape that I have is a trapezoid. This one's interesting. Let's see how many sides and how many angles. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. How many angles? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is the same as a square and a rectangle, although it looks very different. The angles are different. The sides are different lengths. It still has the same amount of sides and angles. So I'm going to add our trapezoid in the box with the square and the rectangle. All right, friends, so your paper should look something like this. We've sorted those shapes by the number of sides and angles. All right, go ahead and turn the page to the See and Show box. So you can describe two-dimensional shapes by the number of sides and angles. So it is showing us a triangle. I'm going to hold up my triangle. It's showing us the sides, the flat parts that make the shape, and the angles, that space where the sides meet. So this space here. So again, a triangle has, that's right, 3 sides and 3 angles. So go ahead and write that in your See and Show box. Next, ooh, that's a fancy word, quadrilateral. What is a quadrilateral? So a quadrilateral is a shape that has 4 sides and 4 angles. So is a rectangle a quadrilateral? Sure is. It has 4 sides and 4 angles. So would a square be a quadrilateral? Yes, it would. Again, it has 4 sides and 4 angles. What about a trapezoid? This looks a lot different, but is it a quadrilateral too? Yes, it is, because again, it has 4 sides and 4 angles. So quad means 4. So I'm trying to think things that have that in it. Quad, there's 4-wheelers. Those vehicles you ride that have 4 wheels are called quads. They have 4 wheels. So again, quad means 4. All right, next is a pentagon. You won't believe this, but I can't find a pentagon in my house. So I'm just going to have to go based on the one we have in the book. Let's see how many sides and how many angles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles. Pentagon. Pent means 5. Pentagon has 5 sides and 5 angles. All right, next up is a hexagon. So we know a hexagon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides and 6 angles. All right, this one is pretty wild. A circle. Whoa. Does a circle have any sides? Does it have any flat parts to it? It does not. Does it have any angles? That's where the sides meet. It does not. So a circle has 0 sides and 0 angles. All right, so let's take a moment to fill that in. So triangle, 3 sides, 3 angles. Quadrilateral, 4 sides, 4 angles. Pentagon, 5 sides, 5 angles. Hexagon, 6 sides, 6 angles. And a circle, 0 sides, 0 angles. Wait just a minute. What do you notice about the relationship between sides and angles? Take a look. What do you notice? I notice that each shape has the same amount of sides as it does angles. So for example, a quadrilateral has 4 sides and 4 angles. A hexagon has 6 sides and 6 angles. So the number of sides is equal to the number of angles. All right, so here's your job after you leave me today. You are going to trace each shape and write how many sides and how many angles that it has. You are also going to see some real life objects in these shapes. So for example, on my own, I see a yield sign, which you may see when you're driving. This looks like a picture frame. This, a guitar pick? I think that's a guitar pick. And a soccer ball. So you are going to, again, this one says circle the shapes that have 3 sides and 3 angles. So the shapes that are triangular, that are triangles. All right, so you are going to be counting sides and angles for shapes and real world objects that are those shapes. On the next page, 748, you have a couple of word problems where you're going to use the clues to draw the shape, kind of like a riddle. And then your homework is very similar. Again, you're tracing shapes and you're counting the number of sides, the number of angles, and then you have, again, some word problems and a little bit of a vocabulary check. So you're going to draw a line to match the shape to the definition. So how many sides and how many angles it has. All right, friends, that is all for math today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye, second grade.